In a world of challenges and uncertainties, hope shines as a beacon, guiding us through the dark times and showing us the way to brighter days ahead. But what exactly is hope? Where does it come from? And how does it shape our lives? I'm Annie Bennett, and I'd love you to join me on this journey as I explore the meaning of hope. I'll delve into philosophical perspectives, personal stories, and scientific insights to understand the power of this elusive emotion. So whether you're seeking inspiration, comfort, or simply a deeper understanding of the human spirit, let's embark on this exploration together and discover the extraordinary power of hope. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Chronicles of Hope podcast with me, Annie Bennett. I have a very special guest with me today, and I'm delighted to introduce Hazel Mckinnon to the podcast. I'm not going to tell you anything about her because I'm going to ask her to tell her story. Hazel, welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me here.
You're very, very welcome. Now, I know that you have got a bit of a story to tell us. So please do tell us, tell us your story. Tell us sort of why you're here and why you're talking to me.
Yeah, so I'm here today to basically share my story, raising awareness of being like deaf and hard of hearing
Hmm.
and overcoming challenges of like daily living and achieving like dreams that you want to achieve, and not letting things hold you back that people might not want to do, just because you're deaf and hard of hearing.
Fantastic, fantastic. I mean, we're all for, raising awareness here. Absolutely. So tell us, a bit of your story. Were you deaf but you've always been deaf from your childhood?
So when I was about 8, I kept having like chronic ear infections,
Mm.
which turned out to be otitis media, which is like fluid behind the eardrum.
Mhm.
So it just kept like recurring basically. But I'd also burst like both my eardrums.
Oh my word.
So there's a lot of like scarring behind like on my eardrums. I've had several like operations on my eardrums to like remove scar tissue, but the hearing is just getting constantly worse.
Oh,
From about 8, my hearing was just getting worse, and it took from about 8. I had like hearing aids, but it has been a challenge, like fighting to get like better hearing aids and better support, uh,
hmm.
just to be able to hear, and just even to get some like support and management in place to even be able to like deal with daily living.
Yeah.
You know, things that you think would be basic tasks. You know, like hearing your doorbell, like
Mhm.
hearing the TV and that. You know, relying on subtitles isn't always the easiest.
Mm.
So it's taken a lot of time to like build up getting the support in place.
Mm.
And there is charities out there, but there's not as much as you think.
Mm.
So it is trying to raise awareness and break the stigma of asking for help.
Yeah,
um,
absolutely. I mean, it happened to you when you were 8. I mean, that's, having been a primary teacher for 30 years, I know exactly, child development, and 8 is such a vulnerable age to have this happen. Were you out of school a lot? How did it affect your schooling?
no, so I did still go to school like pretty much constantly.
Hmm.
Obviously, when I was obviously getting like the operations and stuff, a lot of the time it was like a couple of days out.
Right.
I was back in school. Like, you know, my parents were ones for,
Yeah.
you know, still go to school.
Yeah.
But I did socially withdraw a lot.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Um, and even like within like adulthood, like my social group isn't like I don't have a big social group.
Hmm.
And it is purely, I think, because I withdrew a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like being in large crowds.
I can
Um,
understand that completely. Yeah.
because obviously you can't hear what's going on around about you.
Yeah.
So I think it is like a security kind of thing as well. But again, a lot of one of your challenges is the psychological effects.
Yeah.
So along with this, like I've also got bad anxiety.
Mhm.
So again, like going out in social environments, are you going to be able to understand what people are saying?
Yeah.
You know, when I was 17, 18, going out into like nightclubs, pubs with like everybody else, I couldn't hear a word that they were saying.
I'll bet. I'll
Um,
bet that's quite frustrating. Yeah.
so I work as a support worker, like I'm doing my student nursing now.
Mm. Mm.
Um, but when COVID was around, obviously we were wearing masks and that. I couldn't hear a thing with everybody wearing the masks.
Yeah. Because
Uh,
you lip readers alongside your hearing,
yeah,
don't you? Yeah.
along with like having to try and hear people, you're lip reading.
Yeah.
You don't understand the like how much people miss having the visual
Mm.
of being able to see people's lips.
Yeah.
So it's a lot harder. Uh,
Mm.
so yeah, it's just another challenge to
Yeah.
add to
Oh,
this.
absolutely. So did you find at school that the school were helpful? Did they put things in place, or was it just a question of we don't know anything about this, so we've just got to get on with it? What was your experience there?
At school, yeah, there wasn't a lot really that they did put in place.
Mm.
I mean, they did do some like one-to-one sessions, um, like smaller support group kind of work.
Okay.
But again, it wasn't very much based around solely hearing.
Mm.
Um, and even then, you were still in a class of like
Yeah.
um, 30 kids, so you were still having a noisy environment. It wasn't a change of environment; it was still open
Right.
classrooms.
It's tricky. And how did the other children? I'm sort of intrigued because I've been in various different classrooms with children with hearing issues, and it
Yeah.
can really vary the reaction that the other children have to that. So how was your experience?
I think some of them were quite intrigued to start with as to, when I first got the hearing aids, as to like why I needed them.
Yeah.
It did obviously settle like once they realized that it was to help, but I think trying to explain it as well at such a young age,
Yeah, yeah.
it was kind of a bit daunting trying to.
Quite exhausting having to do it all the time as well, I should think. Yeah. Yeah, in every new school setting, there you were having to start again, weren't you? Really? Yeah, yeah. So you went through schooling. I mean, this podcast is all about hope.
Yeah.
What were your hopes, when you were at school and you were having to deal with this challenge?
I think, I mean, looking back now, I think it was mainly just to kind of finish school and hope that I would have got through schooling and like at that time get like a job or get through education. We weren't looking to see into the future as to where I would be.
Right.
We hadn't kind of planned that far in ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'd always hoped at that stage, like to work with animals. That was always my dream.
Mm,
I'd always been fascinated with animals, so that was my one thing that I'd wanted.
yeah.
But
So
uh,
what did you end up do? You've just mentioned it, but tell us about what it
yeah,
is
I've
you've been doing.
started doing my student nursing.
Fantastic.
It's been a bit of a roller coaster of a turn.
Okay. Why did you decide that? I'm intrigued because you obviously you wanted to work with animals. Why the change to nursing?
So I went into healthcare
Mhm.
and support work with people with learning disabilities, and I think I got to a point like I'd been doing that for about 13 years,
Right.
And I just got to the point that, I felt I needed something a bit more,
Right.
but I couldn't really progress without having the degree to
Okay.
get to the next level. And it had been something that I'd looked at a couple of times. I'd kind of thought there was no way that like universities would take me on, just with having like the hearing loss, and was it going to be too big of a step for me? Like with
Yeah.
it being another challenge, would it be too big of a jump?
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's amazing. I mean, you obviously, from the age of 8, you'd experienced all these challenges, both at school and just sort of generally in society. And then so you worked for 13 years sort of in the care sector. But so something was holding you back. You thought, oh, I can't progress even further because of,
yeah.
my hearing. So what changed then? What made you finally go, right, I'm doing this?
I think I kind of got speaking to a few professionals, and like I got speaking to like certain coaches and stuff that I've been working with,
Yeah.
and they kind of have given me the like little boost that I've needed to kind of encourage me to do the like of the podcasts and do what I want and push myself a bit more.
Yeah,
Like, I
absolutely. You don't just have to go down the road that's the comfortable road, do you? If
know,
it's something that you really want to do, I've discovered this as well, and there's barriers, then you think, right, I'm not going to not do it. I'm going to knock down the barriers.
yeah, it's
That's obviously
definitely
what you've
taking
done, isn't it?
barriers down
Mm,
um, against what the norm is.
yeah.
And it's showing people that you can do it. It might take a different route and, take a bit longer,
Mm,
but you are able to do it.
yeah, yeah. So did you find a university that was really accessible for your needs?
So, I mean, the university that I'm at RGU,
Mhm.
which is in Aberdeen, which is like my local uni.
Right.
Um, and they have like an inclusion centre,
Fantastic.
which has been like really good and helpful. But to be honest with you, I haven't really needed as much support from them as I thought I would.
Okay.
So I've been trying as much as I can.
Yeah.
I mean, I like giving myself a bit of a challenge.
Yeah, fantastic.
So I'm trying to do it as much as I can on my own,
Yeah.
but I know at the same time I've got the support
Yeah, yeah.
from them if I need.
Well, that's good for the confidence as well, isn't it?
Yeah,
That I can go out and do this, but if I have a wobble, there's a support system that I can fall back. I'm
yeah.
not completely on my own. That must have been quite encouraging when you first started.
I mean, they're there for support, especially when you're on like placements and stuff.
Right. Mm,
Um, they do like make sure that you're okay then,
mm,
because obviously you're in a different setting, and you're only there like short term, so it is like a different environment, different staff. So explaining to them and them not understanding
mm.
can be a bit more daunting.
Yeah. That
So
must be really interesting. You must find that people just haven't got the knowledge of, accessibility needs. Do you find
yeah,
that a lot? Or are you surprised sometimes with what people do know?
I mean, for working in hospitals, like doing placements within the hospital, it is surprising that a lot of them don't understand it.
Wow.
Um,
Yeah.
I mean, one of my biggest bugbears is a lot of them don't even know the basics of how to put a hearing aid in or clean it.
Oh, good.
Um, that
Yeah.
is one of my biggest bugbears.
Yeah.
I mean, I will spend like my morning basically putting in hearing aids properly for people
Yeah.
after we put them in. Um,
You're the perfect person to do that, aren't you? But yeah, I mean, it seems so sort of simple. I
yeah,
mean, my mum wears hearing aids as well, and we keep saying to her, "Go and get them serviced." And she, well, she's 92 now, so she's, but it's the simple things, isn't it, that often cause the most challenges, really. So yeah, so how far are you through your course now?
So I'm just away to go into my last year.
Right.
I'm
Right.
in third year.
Yeah. And what's coming up for you in that year? What have you got specific placements that you're going to, or
So
yeah?
we don't find out our placements until like nearer the time. Uh,
Okay. But do you have a range of places? Is hospital placement, so you have a different ones, do you, through
yeah,
the
we do six, no, eight different placements. Sorry,
right,
um, but it's a mixture of surgical, medical, and community based.
right,
So we're all over the
all
all
over the
over.
place? And which one are you sort of gravitating towards, or are you still keeping your options open?
I'm still keeping my options open at the moment. I did have a placement though on ear, nose, and throat, uh,
Yeah,
which I really did enjoy.
yeah,
But I did do short stay medical and toxicology, which was really interesting.
yeah. So at the moment, you're not sure where you're going to be. You're going to do your final year and then
And then I'll
make.
decide.
But obviously, I mean, you are sort of beautifully placed to work with people with hearing issues because, you,
Yeah.
you know about it, don't you? You understand it really from the root. I mean, however qualified the medical team are, unless they've actually experienced it,
Yeah.
there's that level of understanding that they can't possibly have that you have. So, that's just brilliant. So, we talk about accessibility
Yeah.
and we talk about in society and people not having an understanding. What do you think are perhaps a few things that people should understand, particularly about, deafness and the challenges of being deaf,
Mhm.
that could make a real difference to deaf people?
I think, give us time to process information.
Mhm.
Just because we're taking a bit longer doesn't necessarily mean that we haven't understood the information.
Mhm.
Um, like you don't need to repeat it straight away,
Right.
um, but at the same time, you don't need to shout the information at us.
Right.
Um,
Yes.
that's
I
a
bet you
big
get that a lot, don't you?
yeah. And just like slow down when you're speaking to us,
Mhm.
but not to the stage that you're speaking like a robot to us.
Right.
Just speak normally. We're still human beings at the end of the day.
Yeah,
We're
absolutely.
we're just the same as everybody else. It's the same if someone was blind. It's not any different.
Mm.
We just need that little bit of time to process it, and then we'll give you like the answer or respond.
Yeah. Now that's a really good thing to know because I think, a hearing person's instinct, knowing someone's deaf, you raise your voice. But of course you've got the hearing aids, haven't you,
Yeah,
to help with that. So in fact I was with a friend of mine the other day, and this made her laugh that I laughed. She has hearing aids. I mean, they're all very discreet now, aren't they? So you wouldn't necessarily know that someone is wearing them.
yeah,
Her phone rang and she just tapped her ear twice and went, hello. Well, the rest of us like, what's going on? She
it's
said, oh, yes,
amazing.
it's Bluetoothed into my hearing aid. Just
Yeah,
genius. Little things like that, the rest of us don't
yeah,
know about.
it's amazing.
Um, mm,
I mean, my TV and everything can come through my phone. Like
wow. Yeah.
it's everything will come through my phone.
Amazing, isn't it, what technology does?
Yeah,
Yeah, and the other thing I was going to talk to you, I was watching a month or two ago, I was watching on ITV Rosa Ailing Ellis
yeah,
in Code of Silence, I think it's called. And it's about a deaf lady who is asked by the police to help lip read CCTV. And it gets all very complicated. Um, but she was very, very prominent when she was on Strictly. Was it 2 years ago? But did you find that there might have been, was there a shift or something? Did you notice anything in society when that was going on, that people were more aware of issues of deafness at all?
think it does when there is something big on TV.
Mm.
It does kind of bring awareness, but then it dulls down for a bit.
Yeah.
Um, but then the one thing as well is not every deaf person can sign.
Right.
Uh, and learning BSL is something that does take a long time. It's the same as like learning Makaton. It's another way of signing, but it's not necessarily recognized as like a proper like language yet.
Right.
And the downside to Makaton is a lot of the people that use it make up their own signs for things.
Oh, that doesn't help.
Um, so
Oh
I
my
mean,
word.
I've worked with people that have made up their own signs. So you'll be working with one individual and they'll have their own sign for biscuit, and then you'll work with someone else and they'll have something totally different for biscuit.
Oh my God. Is that just for Makaton? I mean, I presume BSL is standard across, isn't it?
BSL is standard,
Yeah.
because it is an actual like registered
Yeah.
language. But yeah, Makaton, it's not yet.
What I want, I'm so intrigued now. I'm thinking aloud. Why do people then use Makaton if BSL is like the standard across?
Oh, Makaton is basically a simplified version.
Oh, I see. Are there similarities then?
Yeah,
Hmm.
Makaton was basically brought out for being used in schools,
Okay.
more in like the special needs schools. But it's got its advantages and its disadvantages. But personally, I would have thought it would have been better to use your BSL
Yeah.
and get them started at a younger age of learning that, even if they just kept it simple, like learning the alphabet and
Hmm.
doing that kind of thing.
Oh, that's just fascinating. I mean, say us people that have never had these challenges, it's just things that we would never never necessarily think about. Say I have worked with children with hearing challenges, so I know a tiny little bit of it, but generally, when you're out and about in the world, it's not necessarily something that occurs to you. Goodness, we're coming to the end of our time. It's been such an interesting talking to you. So what's your sort of main goal now, Hazel? Are you sort of going to be championing, campaigning? What's your main thing that you're going to be doing now?
Um, yeah, so I'm hoping to start raising awareness of being hard of hearing and like deafness, and basically trying to spread awareness
Yeah,
that you can achieve goals like going to university,
yeah,
and you can do like challenges and stuff
yeah,
that people wouldn't accept, just to get the word out there that deaf people aren't limited to restricting themselves. We are still human beings. We can do everyday tasks. We can hold down jobs, and we can live normal everyday lives.
yeah. You just
Yeah,
need a little bit of adaptation so that you can take in the information. And that's all it is really, isn't it? Just a
yeah,
little bit of accessibility, and you can do anything that anyone does, can't you?
yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah. Well, good luck with it. I mean, it's just all power to you. We're gonna finish now. I ask all my guests the same question at the end, and that is, you've probably covered it already, but I'll ask it anyway. I always ask my guests whether they've got a message of hope for my listeners. What would your message of hope be, Hazel?
My message of hope would be to get the word of being deaf and hard of hearing out there, and share that you can be who you want to be,
Mm.
and you can do what you want.
Yeah.
You're not limited, and you are powerful.
Just brilliant. Yeah, I just wish you all the luck in the world. Thank you so much. Hazel, thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you.
So much.
Thank you for listening to the Chronicles of Hope podcast with me, Annie Bennett. I hope you've found inspiration, comfort, or perhaps even a newfound perspective around the meaning of hope. To find out more about the aims of the Chronicles of Hope organisation, please visit thechroniclesofhope.org, where you will find links to our social media accounts and where you will be able to make a much needed and appreciated donation. Thank you.